Hey guys, welcome back at your boy Sir Drink Slot, and this is Lap It Up, a little later in the day edition for a TRITON, an energy drink for the mind and body. Strawberry, kiwi, natural caffeine, 200 milligrams. That's something I'm gonna need tonight because I am exhausted. It's been a long day. There's been some poor management stuff going on, and it's not that I'm mad at the work, because I mean, get the job done. And really, okay, see, that's the thing. I like getting the job done. But hold on, 20 calories, 470 milligrams of sodium. That's a little high for me. 7 grams of carbs. You got calcium, potassium, niacin, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12. And this is from the 7-Eleven company. There's about 3 flavors. There's the original, and then there was another one. An orange, a blood orange or something like that. Hope it wasn't mango. I'm disappointed. Everyone seems to love mango. But yeah, TRITON. I'm gonna try those out, see what I think about those. But right now, we're trying strawberry kiwi. Love my job. I do. I really do. There are certain parts where it gets a little frustrating. And the thing is, sometimes it's just being a service industry, you know, and that's not a bad thing at all, you know. Chuggable, sweet. They get the strawberry, that kiwi is there. This is not bad at all. Like that. That's good. I like that. Wow. Now, the strawberry is not too tart. And it's not too over the top, like the overly ripe flavor of the strawberry. This is a nice strawberry. The aftertaste is strawberry kiwi. It's not something funky. And the kiwi is nice. It's a nice kiwi. If you have too many kiwis, it's kind of like with the citrus. It kind of starts to make your lips feel a little bit funky. I don't think so. Obviously, I haven't had enough to do that, but I get that taste of it, of that citrus. That what would do that? That's kind of nice. But no, as I was saying about work, and this actually just isn't about my work. Other people have had to deal with this as well. But when you have to manage people and their times, especially when you have hourly versus salary or whatever. In salary, you just kind of do the job, get the job done. You know, hourly, you do the job, get the job done, but you get that hourly stuff without the benefits of salary. Sick time and vacation and stuff like that. But sometimes it can be a bit frustrating whenever you're not quite sure, like whenever you kind of go a little bit above and beyond, you know, you feel you've kind of gone a little bit more. It's like, okay, I've been on something that I should have probably had a little bit of help on, and I've been doing this for 2 hours. We closed an hour ago, and nobody's here. That kind of thing, you know, that not specifically that, but just the kind of like, it's part of it is you were trusted enough to take the job on until its completion. There's that way of looking at it. Or there's, okay, he's got it, fuck it, we're gonna leave. I mean, and let's leave him with absolutely no information. You know, especially if somebody has to, like, I don't know, price something out, like the job the person wants to pay, and you came in halfway through. I mean, I'm not, you know, being specific or anything. No, I am. I came in at the middle of a job. We were having some issues working on this vehicle, cutting the keys. They were high security. It was 30 to 40 minutes till, and we normally don't do high security laser cut and programming after 4:30. Now, the boss has said this. We don't do this. And sometimes I've heard him on the phone being like, well, don't come in anytime after 4 o'clock if you're going to do this. It's like, oh, okay. And yet other times, you know, it doesn't work that way. Somebody shows up at like 4:30 and talks to the boss and gets it all settled up, and then he expects you to do it. And you're kind of like, okay, but yes, doing it, okay, and this is true about a lot of things. Sometimes doing the job shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't, and that's true. Cutting a key, programming it in, really shouldn't take that long, unless the machine has some issues when cutting. And this goes for anything. If you're like cleaning floors, like, hey, a last minute job, the job's going to be this much flooring, you're going to do this much, just go out there, get it cleaned up, and they'll pay you. You go out there, you get partway done, your machine breaks down, and that's the hazards of the job. But you were scheduled to work this to this time, and yet to finish the job, it's going to be much longer. And sometimes there's, if it's corporate, there's one thing. If it's single ownership, there's another. And really, when it comes right down to it, you either finish the job or you don't. And you deal with the consequences of either. That's really good. I like that bite, that strawberry kiwi thing. That tastes good. But no, I finished with the job. We had to fix the machine. There was an error. I fixed it. I had somebody working on part of the job so we could continue our progression to getting the job done while I worked on this thing, because I needed to fix this machine, but I also needed to get this job done. We hooked the machine up, tried to program keys in. While he's out there doing that, I'm getting the machine together. I'm cutting the second key because he has the first one. I'm trying to get things programmed in. He's having programming errors. He grabs it on the machine, goes out, has another that has an error, goes out with a third machine. I come out, I come back again. I go back out with another machine. Finally get things working. And it's one of those things where it's a day. It's not all the time. It's not always one time. But it just happens to be that it just happened to be that day. Today was that day. And sometimes I want to be like, this is management bullshit. And other times I just want to be like, okay, it's just a shit day. But I kind of feel like when you feel like somebody's got your back, that's when it's important to me. That's when the job feels good, is that when you know that they've got your back. I came back inside, brought all my stuff in. The guy asked me to come inside. We've been closing off the offices for COVID reasons. We don't have a lot of frontage space. But I said, just come on inside, shut the door. And some other customers pulled up. It's 30 minutes after. I looked. The doors were not fully locked. The sign still said open. And I opened the door. Everybody was gone. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. But what are you going to do? I mean, I took the money, which I didn't have pricing for some stuff. But I had to figure that out. That took a little bit longer, so it made me look kind of incompetent. But, that's okay for me to look incompetent. But anyway, I don't have a hard time with that at all. It's not, something that upsets me on a regular basis. But the guy that I was with who had taken and started the job was hourly, and he had worked through lunch, and he didn't leave. He got stuck helping up front, to the point where he was already like 20 minutes or 15 minutes overtime. An hour and 15 minutes overtime. I was like, hey, you guys go ahead and head out. I've got this. I'll let you know what happens in the morning. But yeah, it's not, and like I said, it's just one of those days. But it kind of just chaps to ass chaps. Chaps to chappins, And it's not like we're all heroes of the workforce. Some of us come in after hours. They'll come in a little bit late. Some of us aren't as consistent with... I want to get out here, but I can't really tell. Screw that. I'm good. But like I said, some of us aren't. I get some guys that don't come in until like 15 to 20 after first thing in the morning. And a lot of times we kind of air that over to just waking up, getting here, going and getting breakfast and heading to the shop, because we don't really pull out until about 9 to do a lot of the larger jobs we got to do. And or sometimes we don't. Sometimes if it's an 8:15, 8:30 job, we get out, you know. And if you're not here, you're getting a phone call. Be like, hey, where are you going? Let's do this. If you're on your way, just, you know, hey, do this. It's also got cold, by the way. We got cold snap coming through. It's also very dark. I don't think I've done a night cast in a while. That's really, that kiwi tartness is nice. The strawberry does really well with that. But anyway, but yeah, it can be a little frustrating, and I think that sometimes maybe a little bit more management, a little more help, or really just a little bit more understanding of, just because you don't work in a certain area doesn't mean the people who are there aren't doing the job. You know, and not that anybody's saying anything. It's one of those things where you feel like be a little bit nice if, you know. And the thing is, we do get compensated fairly well. I mean, it is a really good job. Pay wise is pretty good. It's just, it gets a little frustrating when you want to do the 100% and you feel like you are just failing at that. But customer was happy. Customer got what he wanted. He had a lot more questions for me about other stuff. It being like, you know, 30 minutes after we closed, but I don't think he even knew that. I don't think we even told him. So, you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, and then when I'm about to leave, one of my guys pulls up. Like, it's like 45 after, because I kind of chilled out at the shop for a minute just to kind of unwind, and finished up a drink. I was drinking, you know, Coke, not like drinking, you know what I mean? Just kind of chilled when it was quiet in the shop. And a guy pulls up who had been given a job about an hour till. It was supposed to be like a couple rekeys, you know, stuff like that. And come to find out, one of the larger locks had been stripped, fallen apart. He had to come back. I think there was some modifications to the door that needed to be done. And yeah, it's like sucks. And I feel bad for him because he's still on it, or he might be done by now. But it's one of those things where it's like, it happens. These kind of days do happen, but it really kind of upsets people. And can only feel appreciated up to a point. But yeah, it's one of those things. You do the best you can, you know, and enjoy. If you enjoy your work, you're good. If you love your work, I envy you. But I do enjoy my job. Plus, just the idea of trying to stay awake and be awake for the job, that's when you need a TRITON. No, but you just need to be able to feel like you're at ease and feel like everything's going to be okay. And sometimes it just requires a bit more, making sure somebody's got your back. But, you know, you do what you do. You do what you can, and you do the best you can for the money. Because we all got to pay bills. But anyway, I've been getting your change for like almost 15 minutes now. It's like 14:30. But yeah, no, TRITON Strawberry Kiwi. It's been a part of the conversation in the background. I've given it some tasting. It's really, really good. I really, really like it. It's a really good combination of flavors. It does taste like it should be a flavor of like hard candy almost. So yeah, it's It's good. But as always, this is my opinion. What's yours? Have you tried them? Let me know. If not, give them a shot. Tell me what you think. I'm going to try the original. I'm going to try the other flavor as well. But as always, I am Sir Drink Salon, and I'm wishing you health, wealth, and love with enough time and gusto to enjoy it all down to the last drop. Catch you guys in the next one.